Okay.
And we live. Hey, welcome to another episode of Easy Sports. And today I'm joined by Chelsea's finest, Sihle and Onke. What's happening, gents?
We're seeing blue, my guy. We're seeing
Hey man,
blue.
what's up?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Nervous times, nervous times, nervous times.
Yeah. And yeah, you know what? Let's just kick it off with yesterday's fixture. I mean, okay, guys. Did you guys before you saw the squad? Let me not even say what I can after you guys saw the team sheet. Before you guys saw the team sheet, were you guys like satisfied with getting a draw, or was a
No.
W on your mind?
When I
Yeah.
saw the Chelsea lineup, I felt we had a very strong side. And I think
Yeah.
what the manager, the interim manager, what he did, or the caretaking manager, I don't know whichever word you want to use, is bring back Kante into the fold. And he brought him back as a captain. And you could see the difference between, it's chalk and cheese, between Chelsea that doesn't have Kante and the Chelsea that has it's a very different Chelsea. And then I had a look at the Liverpool lineup with all the, what was it, 5-6 changes, and Salah on the bench and whatnot. And I actually got excited. I'm like, okay, cool, we might have a shot at this.
Yeah.
And the first 5 minutes, that got me rallied up. And then Tulani then sends me a text. He says, you are going to regret these chances. The minute he said that, it dawned on me that it's the hope that gets you. And then I then calmed down. It's like, yeah, maybe a draw wouldn't be such a bad idea. And this was 20 minutes into the game, by the way.
Yes. Yeah, and Onke, like your take?
I think I went into the game with very low expectations, and because it's interim, and I believe in my heart of hearts, a lot of time is being wasted with this process of getting the new manager in.
Yeah.
It's too late into the season for us to be interviewing 7 people, basically. Like, if it should have been made a 2-horse race between Nagelsmann and Lucho, and then keep it there. Whoever impresses out of those 2 guys, whoever is the least complicated deal out of the 2 guys, go with him. You don't have to make it a long-term deal as well. Do the standard 3-year deal, and then take it from there. The
But I
fact that
think-
we
Sorry.
No,
Yes.
sorry. Go. Yeah, no, go
can
on.
finish off the
I'll
point.
I'll get back to the point of the new manager. I'll get to that point in a bit. Just go on.
Okay, so I think we're taking too long with the process, and it's not helping the team in terms of squad harmony, and also feeling like they are confident enough to do what they're supposed to do. So that's why we need someone to already be working with them tactically. Having Bruno working with the team right now is not helping anyone. You're basically keeping the same mindset and the lack of pressure present within the squad, and we need to get rid of that. We need players to be worried and scared, and to want to perform in order to prove that they are capable of performing for that coach. That level of respect is not present right now in the team, and I think you saw that yesterday. There wasn't enough emotion when they missed chances,
Yeah.
when they were not doing the right thing. There wasn't anyone trying to call anyone, to hold anyone accountable when they made errors on the pitch. And I don't think that was happening from the dugout as well. So those nuances need to be cleaned up first. But I think when I saw the teams, I felt as though, yeah, Klopp also felt like, I can't take this interim guy seriously. I'm not going to risk the best of my players to play this guy. I'm sure I can get a result here using my French players, and that's exactly how we went into that game. Even the Salah sub took a little longer than it should have. I think Klopp saw the way the half ended. The first half ended, I was like, yeah, I think I wrestled some control. I think we can start the second half with the same tactical changes I made. and I think we can get a goal against these guys. And he took so long to make that change. I was like, this guy's not taking this guy seriously. Even
Yeah.
though first half we made chances and we really looked great on the break. Felix was a handful, but he wasn't clinical. He couldn't find that ball, that final pass or that shot. He was overthinking things as well. So I think the team is desperate for direction right now, more than anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Just on the manager, this thing of firing managers without having a manager on the wings waiting is an
Succession
irritation.
plan.
Yeah, it's an irritation for me in that now. So fine, let's say you've got a manager in mind that you want him to take over. You fire your manager the Sunday, and then Spurs go right ahead and pull the manager who was your favorite in the running to be your manager. Then what? Now you fired your manager. You're sitting with a position where you're looking at your second best manager to be the manager. Like I struggle with that. Fire your manager when you know that, hey, listen, the deal is signed with Julian. Say, hey, dude, you're coming over, and that's that. You fire him on Sunday. Right after firing him, couple of hours later, we introduce the new manager. It ends there. This whole thing of back and forth. Now we're talking about Luis has flown into London, and how many games are left in the season? And if we're not careful,
yeah,
I dread what might happen if we lose the next two games. Because you saw where we are right now. Aston
11.
Villa, Aston Villa has leapfrogged us, leapfrogged freaking Liverpool. So this whole thing of back and forth and whatnot, we should have fired the manager when we knew we had a manager in place.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's that there? It's Onken. But you are right. CJ, succession plan. You guys are pretty much moving like Man United. And I know when, of course, you guys are used to Abramovich having an owner that's actually um, who's actually got a plan in the sense that whenever you guys sack, you guys always have a succession plan in how you move forward, Whereas with right now with your new ownership, it's as if you guys are, like I said, pulling a Man United because this is what Man United does all the time to us, bro. We sack
No,
and
it's
then we wait
I
for a
struggle.
long
I
time.
struggle with that. I honestly
Yeah,
struggle with that. But it is
yeah,
what it is.
mhm,
There's the rumor mill is churning. I think everyone is looking for Fabrizio's refreshing his page. We're looking for a
yeah,
club statement. We're just waiting.
yeah,
For my side, I think I said it yesterday. The
yeah,
German gets the nod for me. I know that everyone keeps on saying that he's young, he's not going to get the respect that he deserves.
mm,
Oh well, yeah. There's a question mark around the age and the respect because he really hasn't really done much. Sure, fine. German league is viewed as the French league, where it's a farmers league, to be honest. In
yeah,
it being a farmers league, he's done very well from where was he, Leipzig before, and then from
yeah,
then on moved over to probably the best German team that there is in the world.
yeah,
And but the style of play that he kind of plays, I
mm,
I, I mess with. And then I look at Luis. Nah, yeah, the style of play is also beautiful, but do we
yeah,
have the type of players to be playing tiki taka? And
yeah. But
it's one of those weird ones. I love the way that he thinking the Spaniard presses and it's
yeah,
attacking football, and that's what I want to see my team play.
yeah. No, that's true. I agree with you, man. It's just with me. Nagelsmann plays the great gegenpress. I think German coaches in general, like German, whether it's who's this guy, um, with Tuchel even as well. You guys, that's why Mount did so well under Tuchel because he's a player who's very good off the ball. So off players who are good off the ball would benefit from a Nagelsmann coming in. But a guy like João Felix, for me, I don't think that how Julian plays will suit him because Felix is a flair player. And you
Which
saw
is-
yesterday that run that he did, that one that he should have shot. He should have shot with his left foot. I don't know why
And then he decided
put
to
on
drag
his
it onto
right.
his right and whatnot, and
Like-
gave the defender the opportunity to block it.
And I even saw on Twitter, like there are a lot of Chelsea fans who are complaining about Zhao's output, you know, because I mean we're in a GA era. Most people, that's what matters to them: goals and assists. They don't care how they come, just as long as you.
I think also we, as Chelsea fans, we need to be honest. The project, Kai being a lone striker, long in the tooth, it's not working out. He's not clinical enough, so he can't be the lone striker. I see him as like I'm trying to think of a player. I wouldn't say he's such as a playmaker, but he floats around the box, like middle of the park. Like he not that he's going to give you the output like I'm a assist like Ozil. But he's that type of player. He's not clinical enough. But there's a player in there.
Yeah.
Which also brings me to the other point of if you are going to get a manager, get the manager in now so that you give him a window to work with, and then he can see, because his squad says Chelsea. It's quite a shitload of players, and he needs to make a decision on, is player number one good enough for me? If not, chop him. Am I replacing him, or am I comfortable with what I have? And this whole back and forth, it's wasting unnecessary time that we don't have. Because there's how many games left in the season? 9 games, I think.
I'm not sure whether it's 9 or
I think it's
it's
probably
played,
like 9.
9, yes, 9.
I think it's 9 games left. And 9 games is what? It's 2 months. And in that, you've given your manager an opportunity to see what he's working with. Because I think every player reacts differently to a different manager. So you could find what's his name? Mason Mount is pap right now. Like he's pap. New manager comes in, he's got a point to prove. He ups his game. He plays the exact type of game that the manager wants. We're talking a different game. Sorry, we're having a different conversation in 2 months' time, whether Mason Mount goes or whatnot. Because right now, I'm at the point where Mason Mount can bounce.
Yeah. And then when I
don't even know how I feel about the Mason Mount thing. Just like the Kai Havertz thing, I feel like they're both players that are useful enough to keep. I think there are players that are far ahead of them in the pecking order, far below them, I mean, in the pecking order, that I'd rather see leave before I even consider letting go of those two. That's just me personally. I think you can have squad depth using players like them. I think maybe the issue is seeing them start every game. I think Chelsea fans, I've also been guilty of this, but they've started to dislike starters and want them to go, when the better option would be to change the role of those starters, have better technical players being first options, and then having those players that are starters right now become, because Havertz from the bench, Mason Mount from the bench, that is still very solid as an option for a coach, So I don't think we don't need those players. I just think those players have been misused for the type of skill set we have available right now. It wouldn't make sense to play Mason Mount ahead of Felix, for example, because of the type of ability Felix does. Like, Felix makes our attack tick. We attack so much better because of his presence. He's just not clinical in the final third, and he'll get that right, I'm sure.
He will.
So,
he will. That's a star, right?
Like, you know how they started to stop our attacks in the second half. They just said, make sure he doesn't turn around. So you tackle him at the point when he touches the ball. And that was the exact tactic. They fouled him the entire second half. I was like, this is clearly a tactic, because they realized if this guy turns, he basically begins every single attack. So that's why I want Enrique so much, because those are players that he can unleash. He's so good at that. He's so good at placing players where they need to be, not where they want to be. I remember when he arrived, Messi still wanted to play centrally, and Suarez was pushed to the right. And when Suarez was pushed to the middle, Messi would still play centrally. And Enrique convinced Messi that I need you to start your touches from the halfway line. You can cut in, which is going to give Dani Alves the entire right wing for himself. You can cut in and do all your skilled things and whatever. But you're looking for Jordi, you're looking for Neymar, and you're looking for Suarez. So you always have three options for yourself to use for movement, and you can score if you want to. But I need you to start your touches from the center. Once Messi made that adjustment, Barca couldn't get beat at all.
Yeah.
But we're talking about Messi, and we don't have that player at Chelsea. But the point,
yeah,
yeah. But the point is just there are different ways that I believe Enrique could enhance this team and make great use of players like Mount and Kai Havertz.
I hear you. I think you were disconnected when I said this, that the project of trying to play Kai as the lone striker, we need to go right ahead and just because what's happening is that he's demotivated as a player himself. He's not lethal enough. We all know that, but there is a world-class player right now. How do you then, as a new manager, come in and unleash that potential that exists within a player? He is a world-class player, but the lone striker role is not working out for him.
But isn't Kai a 10, guys?
I think
he's a 10.
Yeah,
I think he's a better
10.
You have Zhao, but you have Zhao
number
at
9.
10. You have Zhao at 10, guys. And for me personally, Zhao Felix, man, and I've been crying about Zhao Felix. That's Zhao Felix is what Man United fans think Bruno is, essentially. For me personally, I just think Zhao is world class.
I think
he is one of the last and dying flair players out there in his age group, because nowadays Lentwana lazy their pace and power. They don't have that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and so for me, I'm into flair.
But have you stopped calling them speed merchants?
Yeah, pace merchants, speed merchants. they just merchants. They don't have what they don't have. Remember when we grew up, guys, when you look at the
Ronaldinho, you look at let's
not even go to about Dino, Rui Costa from AC Milan, Clarence Seedorf from AC Milan. I mean Deco. I mean, you don't even need to go to the creme de la cremes. Number 10s need to be competent on the ball. They need to have a bit of stardust in them, dribble in tight spaces, and that's what Bruno doesn't have for me personally.
But Giga looked from a distance and not give you a chance.
They don't, bro. It's like even when you look at Brazil's back in the day, even the bench players who play in advanced roles like Zé Roberto, and he played for Bayern Munich. There's that thing about them, bro, and it's just nowadays that I just feel like that's what's dying out in the game, and that's why for me I'm slowly moving to basketball and then staying in.
Umkhumbuza Danielson would literally over the ball, and that's what everyone would go nuts on, and that is football.
But I think also the voices around football have also become enamored with these old intensity ideas of football where there's no space for flair. Even the top coaches, most of them do not believe in expression. They believe in creating triangular what are these dimensional passing lanes, those diamond, and one of the skill sets Tuchel has, Pep has, Enrique has, is the belief that most attacking players need one thing, and that is space to run, space to attack defenders. If you give your wingers that, then you can give your wingers a blank page for them to write on. One of the things that Chelsea has struggled with has been to beat fullbacks one-on-one, and we have the speed now to try to to utilize to beat blocks or to get over defensive lines, which I see an element of it was being applied through Potter. I won't lie. I've seen it a lot now. Even Kovacic makes line passes now, something that has been lacking in his game for a few years now. He made some brilliant pass on the weekend to Chilwell that landed on his chest. The chance didn't end up being a goal, but it was so amazing. It's like, is that Kovacic? He hit like a Modric pass with his left. And I was like, what? So
I think
those opportunities.
It Chelsea from the middle up front. I wouldn't say there isn't lack of talent. What we are missing is, and it's the Chelsea curse ever since what's his name? Drogba. Was it Drogba? Because Drogba is probably the last number 9 that we had.
Costa.
We had a proper. Actually, no, I like Costa. You're right. Yes, you're right.
Costa.
It's that curse where we haven't had a solid number 9. I wanna Costa. The Windsor game. Costa, you knew. Costa versus Arsenal. The Arsenal defense. Yeah. They
red cards, wire.
Yeah. Because Ubabamba one by one, but once again washing, but there was that, and he knew where the goalpost was. And then you look at Drogba, absolute legend. Drogba could score with his head, he could score with his left, he could score with his right. And Chelsea, after that, we haven't had a number 9 that you could say with Yabonala in the strike.
But that's the thing, Sihle. Those strikers are dying out. Think about it.
There's not a lot of those.
There's not a lot anymore, gents. That's why.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what, Kolan? Yeah. The name I'm gonna say, Sihle, maybe you will know it from Chelsea circles. The closest striker there is today to Drogba, and a lot of people want to say Osimhen. I don't think Osimhen is a great ball winner in the air. Drogba was an elite ball winner in the air. No, he's a finisher. Yeah. No, there are different profiles of strikers. Remember, Drogba was like a creative 9.
Exactly.
You know,
he could hold
and how many 9s exist today apart from Harry Kane that are like creative 9s? You know, creates with his head. I remember when he played with Anelka, the number of flicks that Drogba used to have because he knew Anelka was already running. Like he just flicked the ball, bruh, and a goal is created, or they've just moved the entire team to the opposition final third, just like that. So you already have advantage. You can create your overloads. You can use your shooting prowess through Lampard and the likes. So there were so many things that he contributed towards, more than just the numbers, you know, and the goals. And for me, the closest player in that ilk of being dominating defenders is Tony from Brentford.
Yes, that's my current favorite. My guy,
he is brilliant.
Thank you. Finally,
Dude, I've been saying, Witty, we must take a gamble. Stuntily out. Sure, fine. He's got his gambling ways.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the only problem, bruh. Will Barton things. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's my only issue with him.
The goal you scored this weekend.
Tony
Supreme.
is quality, guys.
Supreme. Bruh, his confidence when he gets the ball. I remember I watched Brentford versus Arsenal, né? And I remember thinking to myself, I don't think Saliba has won a ball in the air against this guy. And I checked the stats after the game. I think he'd lost like 10 joules in the air to him. Like Tony won every single. It wasn't like 50-50, dog. Tony was owning him. I saw Tony own, just like I've seen Mitrovic do it, but I've seen Tony own Virgil van Dijk, Ruben Diaz. The guy is a problem. Like, he is big and he's quick. He thinks very fast. He's like Giroud with a little bit more skill and just a little bit more pace. He's so good, bruh. So good. I can't believe no one is queuing. Yeah. He's got pace.
Yeah,
He's got
no.
pace.
Do you know what happens? You know what happens is most of these managers sometimes look too much into your your national team call up. Yeah, when Southgate, he really pissed me off when he didn't invite Tony to come through, because I feel he was a better striker than some of the. I think Wilson was invited to go as compared to Tony. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Wilson is a brilliant striker. Don't get me wrong, and I know Adam is probably watching. Adam is watching. Is going to say no. Wilson is a decent striker. He's very good, but for future, nah. Tony is the man.
Guys, and you know, Onke, I agree with you when you say that you're surprised at why people aren't even like Man United. We're busy talking about Harry Kane and about Osimhen, where there's Ivan Tony who suits our philosophy to
screw Osimhen, dog. Screw Osimhen, and I know how great Osimhen is. Ne? I'm a firm believer sometimes that when a striker, especially a striker, finds a league, a team, a squad for him, him leaving after a season destroys the arc of his career most of the time. Very few strikers actually blow up when they move. Abu Haaland, Abeko everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think Osimhen is that type of striker. I think a lot of his prowess also comes from the fact, Yoguti, in the Serie A, if you have any level of intensity as a striker, you're going to beat most of the defenders there.
Yeah.
You see this with Giroud. You see it with Ibrahimovic when he's fit. You see this, like, if you have just a little bit of work rate, you're going to beat most of those Italian guys, because the type of games that they play is very rigid. It's very functional, Italian league. So if you have just a little bit of pace, just like Lukaku, just a little bit of pace, just a little bit of extra effort, you're going to beat those guys any day. So when you get to the Premier League, where we don't work with those level of spaces, the defenders don't mind being physical. The defenders will challenge you in the air. I would trust Tony playing alongside Joao Felix.
That would be fire, bro.
You watch him with Mbeumo, dog. You watch that guy with Mbeumo, and you're like,
Umbezo does the hard work where he runs around and whatnot, and in a channel. Once we make out in a channel call, sure.
And then guys,
imagine, imagine if all the touches yesterday that Kai Havertz had. I'm not saying he had bad touches. He was a great pivot for some of our attacks, especially as the receiving half 10 player. He managed to create overloads. But imagine if those touches, especially towards the box, those touches were going to Tony instead of Havertz. We would have scored 4 goals yesterday. Easy.
Calm and easy to a point where when Tony is through at goal, net, you don't even panic, bro. He's just an intelligent striker, bro, who's so underrated. It's incredible.
So dominant.
So dominant, bro. But hey, man, maybe it's the gambling shandies that's holding him back right now. Maybe that's why teams are holding back from
because the ban, if it's gonna be a ban, might be quite significant. So teams won't want to take that.
What are they talking? 2 years?
Oh, much more than 2 years. I mean, Will Barton got 18 months for. No, I think he got 3 years. He got 3 years for, I think, 18 counts of sports betting.
And this guy's got how many?
And this guy's got 200 and something.
You see when you call that a number.
And what? How old is he? He's like, 25, 26?
Yeah, it's 25.
Yeah.
Prime.
Yeah.
Those are the prime years.
He's entering his prime. He's entering his prime.
Yeah.
Because they say in sport you hit your prime at 27. He's only entering his prime. Just like look at Rashford. Rashford has hit his prime.
Yeah.
Rashford is 27.
Yeah.
The Rashford from 2 seasons ago, the one who looked like he was coming into his own, died out when he saw Cristiano Ronaldo. And I think a lot of those players were in awe for the most part of the time that Ronaldo was there, that his presence was too much for them to handle.
Yeah.
So, and that's the problem sometimes when these big players come to your club. I saw some Chelsea players, some Chelsea fans talking about the idea of Messi leaving and Neymar leaving and maybe joining Lucho at Chelsea. I'm like, no, we're not trying to create some MSN region here. We need to create a path of our own. We've got our own players that we still need to see. We want to see the best of Mudrik. We want to see the best of Datro Fofana. We want to see the best of Noni
Man of the match,
Madueke.
man of the match yesterday, without a doubt. Man of the match yesterday.
Who's that?
Which
Who's that?
Fafan, the defender.
that's your defender, Wesley.
Wesley.
No,
Man of
unless
the match.
okay, Sihle. Which area of the pitch did N'Golo Kante not cover yesterday?
But the thing is,
Yeah, we take him for
Hold
granted.
on.
No,
We do.
Bruh, that 60 minutes,
We
that 60
spoiled.
minutes was more valuable than anyone who played yesterday.
Okay.
Remember what happened after N'Golo left?
Yeah, no, it's fine. I think I've said it. Chelsea's a different Chelsea when N'Golo is involved. But defense-wise, there's this dependency that we seem to have on Thiago. Thiago, because Thiago he's a Rolls Royce. But
of course,
yesterday, Fofana stepped up. For me.
Look, I think you could also argue that Cucurella also stepped up in a lot of he stopped a lot of attacks, especially in the box. Yeah. His interceptions in the box were amazing, because look, when Liverpool was actually able to create something in the final third, the reason they weren't able to make anything in our box was because we were able to anticipate very well, especially the channels that they like to play their crosses in. That was one thing that I saw. I was like, okay, this is a different Chelsea defensively, because usually we are one line and everyone is running towards their goal, and then they play a cutback and we are all watching. I've seen this happen so many times for the last 4 years or so, where a cutback destroys the entire defense and it's a simple goal. So we were able to stop those types of things, and Fofana and Ulendo did a great job there. Even Koulibaly did a great job blocking some of those crosses, especially the early crosses. There was one early cross that was hectic that he stopped. That would have been a goal, an easy tap in, basically. Plus, Kepa doesn't really do a lot of goalkeeping, And I think they did a great job of protecting Kepa yesterday from any type of creation Liverpool could have, But I also think, hey, guys, when you watch N'Golo Kante and you see him at every tackle, he's like one of the worst 50-50 players you could have, because he's winning it. Yeah, that's all. He's winning it. And the best opportunity of the game. The best opportunity of the game came from N'Golo Kante tackle when Kovacic broke. N'Golo tackled. Havertz had made a bad pass back.
Yeah.
And N'Golo was like, okay, let me poke this ball just a little bit into the path of the player that's coming on the left. It was perfect. And it was a tackle in the offensive half. So that he's valuable beyond.
There's a I think when he came to Chelsea, he was not one-dimensional, so to say, but from Leicester, he was always like that kind of like a defensive midfielder where he breaks play. And then I can't remember which manager decided to move him up and give him more responsibility in going forward.
Sorry.
Yes, it was Sarri. Yeah, it was Sarri. And then the one thing that time and time again he has in his arsenal is he doesn't foul. He doesn't commit fouls.
He's very intelligent.
And the way that he wins the ball, he wins it. And you'd expect the amount of tackles that he goes into, you'd expect for him to have a fair decent amount of yellow cards and whatnot. But no, he's clean. Like when he tackles, he tackles. I can't remember who he tackled in front of the ref. It was Jota yesterday. And then Jota looks at the ref to say, yo, that's a foul. The ref is like, nah, that's not a foul. and the game continued. So Ungole, he has that, but I'm concerned with the amount of injuries and how many seasons we've got in him.
Can I put you at ease? He did something very important with this one. He had the surgery. I remember reading the past few years that a recurring hamstring injury means that the fiber, the hamstring fiber, is tearing. It needs to be repaired, and then you need to recover after that. And he finally repaired it now. So I think we can ride his fitness and manage him because we have some depth now in midfield. We can afford to use him as an impact sub. We can afford. We've got Andre Santos coming next season, so we don't have to overuse Ngolo. We can use him as quality minutes.
Speaking on players that are coming, we've got Nkuku coming.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have Kendry Paez.
Yeah, but Kuku's also not an out-and-out striker. Yeah.
No, he isn't.
He floats around. Yeah, he floats around.
Can I just say this though? Can I just say this? I think any Chelsea manager that's going to come in now will want to have the opportunity to use Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I think maybe Potter was told not to use him. It didn't make sense why he wasn't playing, even when we were struggling to score goals. Like the only number 9 on your team is not in the Champions League team. Really? Doesn't make sense. So I think there's an opportunity there that Nkunku might play as one of the forwards, but not in the central area. I think we stand to be in a problem where Mount might be leaving because of Nkunku's arrival, not because of his contract. I think his contract. They are not able to compromise on his contract because they're thinking, if we've got Havertz and we've got Nkunku and we've got Felix, basically one position as creative midfield is taken already in the team, and then whatever system a coach decides to play, we know any of those 3 players or a combination of any 2 of those players will be able to play. And if you have injuries, there's depth at that position as well that we could use. Datro could play a creative role as well. Ruben could play a creative role as well.
If I had to choose between Mount no Nkunku right now, I'm sorry, I'm going with Nkunku.
Wow, that's a no-brainer. Like everyone is going.
It is a no-brainer.
That one is a no-brainer.
I'm just saying. So Mount, I feel for him. I know that all these players he's done the club. I think it was player of the season 2 seasons back.
Twice.
Yeah, so he's been a good servant. If he feels and he needs to get paid for it, like I'm all for let these boys get paid. If he feels they're not paying him right, there should be other clubs that are willing to pay for him. Because now we're gonna have a lot of these creative midfielders. We're gonna have Captain America. We're gonna have Mount. You're gonna have João Felix. That's if he stay. You're gonna have
a lot, guys.
Yeah.
Even no Ziyech,
but I think
he needs to go. That one is going.
I think he's going Italy.
Yeah.
Oh my God! David Ornstein just said Chelsea are close to appointing Frank Lampard as caretaker manager.
I saw him last night.
No. Oh my God.
Lampard.
I saw him last night, and there was chat around him being there. Fucking
that's like you guys. That's like us going back to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, bruh. Like,
yeah.
These passion coaches, dog. These passion coaches. I know it's good because you guys still need to come to a Trafford. So yeah, I hope Lampard is in the dugout. I hope Lampard is in the dugout for that fixture. Yeah, but yeah, I just wanted to also check with you guys because we've been discussing Chelsea. With regards to Liverpool,
what's going on there?
like what's going on? Because it seems as if for Klopp, especially the technical players are not playing. You know, like when you look at Carvalho, he's not playing. That Melo guy, Arthur Melo, I don't even know why they even bought Arthur Melo if they're not even gonna play him Naga and Ngane. But it seems as if Liverpool
So
is, yeah, it's alone, yeah, but like he still needs to play Nyana, dog. I mean, like just have a few games. I haven't seen this guy play, you know, and I can
I think
imagine how it feels for him seeing Henderson play ahead of him, bruh. Like, you know, it's crazy for me. I just
yeah,
find
when
it very strange.
I think we said it the other day, and
Yes.
it wasn't the first time we all agree on it. Going for a quadruple cup run or trophy run, I'm not going to lie, elite as you are, it does take something out of you. And whether it's physical fatigue, because if you think about it, last season, how many months or weeks did these guys get off season? Because it was literally less than a month, if I recall. After that, they went back. Ama games we were one day pass. So you play 2 days later, you're
every
playing. 2 days
3 days,
later, you're
yeah,
playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
yes.
then literally
Well,
not the whole
You
squad
had
went
a
to the
World
World Cup.
Cup.
World
yeah.
Cup yakona, you make it through to the next the last 32, the last 16, and Kumbuli, these are tiring games. So right now, I think what's happened is that it's and the type
Team
of
say
football that they
boy.
Naxi system say be respectful, my guy. I think also the type of football this rock and roll, high press and whatnot. Because it's all
Yeah.
the press in Liverpool is
Uh,
safari.
yeah, and
I
heavy metal
Safani.
football. Yeah. Heavy metal
No,
I
football.
think
but
they
but
need
you
like
see that
Yeah.
when I was watching yesterday, I was like, the one element that makes
Yeah.
Liverpool what Liverpool is that Liverpool used to suffocate teams. I remember under Sarri trying to beat the Liverpool press. I remember you feel it. You have palpitations just watching them press you because no
there's
one
like
has time. Your
three
defenders
players
have to
on
make decisions.
yeah.
Yeah, your defenders have to make decisions very quickly. Your pivots, if you have a double pivot, they have to be so engaged. They have to make sure that they are providing support to anyone who has the ball very quickly as well. And they also need to be press resistant because they are also being pressed from the back. And I think they lost some of the energy of players like Wijnaldum, for example. You know, Romano is
Sunny.
also reporting about Frank Lampard.
Oh,
Uh,
sorry, not Sunny, Money.
okay.
Yes.
You have Sadio Mane, you have, those players are perfectly capable of pressing. The other player that can press in this current Liverpool team is Harvey Elliott. But
Yeah.
he doesn't spark presses anymore. Salah is a great presser as well. We haven't seen Salah create goals from press. He used to create so many goals just from pressing. You know, we haven't seen that. So the energy of the Liverpool team has been totally wrong for the way Klopp wants to play. And if you don't have the application, unfortunately, the tactics won't matter. And I think that has been the real issue at Liverpool is that they don't have the legs to carry that intensity. Therefore, whatever tactical application Klopp is trying to use, they are not playing at the correct pace to apply it.
I think
No.
also Umane,
They
the
only
one thing
did that
that people
against.
forget. Sorry.
Sorry?
Yeah, the only the
Yeah,
a lot of people seem to forget Uti. Umane was the trigger of
Yeah.
the press.
the
He
press,
knew
yes.
when to press because they didn't just press for the sake of pressing. They had a trigger point. It's okay, sure, fine. Up front it'd be Salah, it'll be Mane. Who was the third one? Firmino,
Firmino.
Bobby. Yeah,
Yeah, Bobby.
and he would go right ahead. Mane would trigger it, and the minute that he triggers it, you know what as a defender, you know what. Okay, sure, fine. I've got Salah coming this side. I've got Bobby coming the other side, and then the midfield. They just come in and they compound your problems. So now your decision making comes into question. Are you going to kick the ball out? Are you going to lose the ball? Because you need to find your player. And the minute that was gone, that trigger point, I don't think they had another player who could trigger it from that up front. Because Darwin Shofan Yamaka, but Agamaki the same as your money.
He's not an African.
Yeah. Yes.
That is the separator. Darwin has the pace. I don't think he has the physicality of Mane, because Mane used to drop defenders. And the other thing is, I think Liverpool, the collective intelligence of Liverpool's attack is not where it used to be. The combination of their front three was what made them so great, and how Trent and Robertson were also complementary to them as well. Because that front three, functioned in such a way that the goals came from the wide areas, the creativity came from centrally with Firmino, and then also from the wider of the two guys with the fullbacks. It's difficult to sustain that system if the left hand side is not as dominant as it used to be. I think Luis Diaz also got injured at a horrible time, because he looked like the best Liverpool attacker at the time of his injury. I remember there was a game where they were losing so bad, but Diaz was doing his best to just keep them in the game. I think they lost the game 5-2 or something, or 4-2, and he was doing his best to keep them in the game.
Amachita, we're making fun of me because I rate that boy. I think his skill wise and he's the speed, and a lot of people were like, nah, it's gonna fizzle out. So when he got injured, I fell for him. I really fell for him because I could see the trajectory where his career was starting to pick up.
Yeah, no, indeed. I also fully agree with you, CJ. I'm one of the few guys who openly said that this guy.
And this is like from a non-Liverpool fans.
Yeah, it's because he suits. Yeah, because he suits the philosophy, Luis Diaz. And so
he's so good. He is so good as well.
Yeah, he is very solid, very very solid, and solid purchase as well, man. Because they didn't get him for a lot of money, So they actually saw him, scouted him, and it just shows you, Oguti, whoever was in the scouting department for Liverpool, he knew what exactly he was doing, But I mean, I still believe that with Liverpool, man.
Scouting in Portugal is good. Scouting in Portugal is good. There's this midfielder, Sporting. His surname is Ugarte. Oh my God!
Yes,
plays for Sporting. I saw him. I saw him during that Arsenal game. In the Europa League. I was like, who the hell is this? He is everywhere. He is a problem, a proper defensive mid. But he's like a Casemiro in that he reads the game. He's hard in the tackle like a Fernandinho, and he's got vision, like great vision as well. So whoever, I'm sure that you'll see by the time the transfer window opens, you'll be seeing that name all over the place. Ugarte. I don't know if you pronounce it that way.
Yes, it's like it's like even that guy from Fulham, the holding mid. Konji, what's his name?
I'll tell you now. Wait,
the American.
Yeah. No.
No, it's not America. The American.
Not Jack Harrison, right?
No.
Oh,
Jack Harrison.
No, not Harrison. For Fulham, the holding mid from Portugal.
Oh, Paulinho.
That's another one that I rate. Yeah, I rate Paulinho as well.
What a player! What a player! What a player!
Dude!
What a player! What a player!
It's crazy,
Fulham struck gold there. Fulham struck gold there. They're going to make a lot of money with that player. They're going to make a lot of money.
And I feel like should they sell that player, that's when things are going to start crumbling for them. Because from a defensive standpoint,
of course, But they
knows
can't
how
keep a
to.
player like that. Not at Fulham.
Yeah. I
Man United,
rate that.
Man United must go get that boy. Man United
Yes.
must go get that boy. That
Man
boy is
United.
what you guys expect Fred to be.
Exactly.
He's exactly what you guys
Exactly.
expect Fred to be.
Yeah.
Exactly what you expect him to be.
You see what I'm
Not shy
saying?
in the tackle, a great ball player, skillful. He is so press resistant. He is impossible to
Exactly.
mark. Impossible to
Yeah.
mark. And he plays with
Yeah.
Adams. And Adams is a bully. Have you seen that boy doesn't play
Yeah.
like an American? It's like Reece James
Yeah.
playing in midfield.
Yeah, true. It's like he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't play games. What? Adams. He's very aggressive in how he plays.
Adams,
Very,
I'm
very
looking. I'm
aggressive.
looking at the
Yeah.
very,
time.
very aggressive.
Ubaba load shedding is coming, guys.
Yeah. Hey, no, guys. Yeah, you are right. Yeah. Yeah. Like, guys, thank you so much.
Guys,
I
can
wish
I
we
tell
can
you a
have.
secret?
Yeah.
I haven't been load shed.
For how
I'm a
long?
jumpies now.
I haven't been load shed in like weeks. Many weeks.
But now my
Yo,
jumpies, because now
my
Many
they're
jumpy.
gonna come
weeks.
for you.
They're gonna come for you. They're gonna come for you.
Nah.
How
I'm
it
chilled,
is.
dog. I'm chilled.
Yeah, I know, guys. I know. Let's close it there. No,
Not
thank you
yet.
so much for availing yourselves.
All
I'll
right.
hit you up, of course, again for other
Uh,
episodes. But guys, please like,
no
comment,
stress.
share, subscribe to the channel. This is Squeezy Sports, and we out. Peace.
All right, Jets.